Hey everyone, welcome to today's session. So I'm Mike, I'm a co-founder at Kodif. Super excited to chat with everyone about how to differentiate AI solutions for customer experience. I'm proud to be joined by Craig Stoss, CX consultant and leader in the CX space. And yeah, we're going to chat a little bit about how to uh, the framework to evaluate and choose the right CX tools and for your team. So on this kind of slide, you can see AI, as everyone knows, has been a buzz. Since ChatGPT came out, everyone's talking about different tools. Some of them are more valid than others, and it's hard to kind of like differentiate and figure out what's what. And so we actually did on the next slide a market map of conversational AI companies, and we've noticed that this is actually one of the most crowded enterprise kind of sectors. There's so many companies doing different use cases, from traditional customer experience companies to new chatbots, to automated virtual agents. So Kodif actually sits in a variety of these different fields to the agent assistant side, and we'll kind of review the opportunities there. And you're probably thinking to yourself, there's so much going on. What should I do? And you're a bit overwhelmed. And you're not alone. This is kind of how a lot of people feel in the customer experience market. And our goal with today's presentation is just to kind of give you some insights into the market and to share kind of what we're providing at Kodif, and also just where there could be opportunities for you and your customer experience organization. So I'll pass it over to a very good friend of Kodif's, Craig Stoss, who can kind of talk through some specific use cases given his deep experience in the customer experience market.
Thanks so much, Mike. Yeah, I think that slide that you showed with all the market map is really important to this conversation. What I think is very different about the AI space in general is that unlike things like the telephony space or the help center space, where if you took all the competitors in those spaces and put them on a wall, put their logos on a wall and threw a dart, you're going to get almost all the basic functionality for your needs. Sure, there might be a feature set missing here, or some UI might be better over there, but in general, you're going to get what this category of tool is based on your selection. The AI space is not like that. And as you saw on the slide that Mike showed, there are tools that were in two or three different boxes. Kodif plays in many of those boxes, and I love the way they split it up with the customer resolution on one side and automation of customer resolution versus the customer has to be the agent has to respond on the ticket, and then human orchestration versus machine organization. Those splits are really important. So what this slide is trying to get across is a list of some of the buzzwords that you might hear in the industry: workflow automation, conversational AI, action recommendations, sentiment analysis, ticket categorization. All of these things are words and buzzwords that various tools use to describe their tool. And what happens in the market and with the nature of how AI models work is that they overlap quite a bit. So if you're trying to do intelligent support operations, those tools will have some ticket categorization inherently built into them. They might have action recommendation, they might have sentiment analysis, or they might not. Some conversational AI tools will do workflow automation, some will not. Some will do sentiment analysis and be able to change tone and persona of the bot itself. Some will not. And all of these boxes interchange and form this web of a set of features. And so if you go to the market and say, well, I just want a conversational AI tool and put all the logos that come up in Google or G2 or whoever you use and throw a dart, you will not get necessarily the right product for you. And that is a very key differentiation that we all have to be aware of when we're going to market for AI tools, is that it's not just about wanting AI or wanting a bot or wanting to automate workflows. It's about what is the specific use cases that your team needs in order to improve itself. And so, for example, one statement that I might come up with is I want a customer facing self service option that solves common inquiries that are repeatable to my team immediately. That is a very specific use case, and one or more of these boxes may be able to solve that for you. And when you go to market, it's important that you're very clear with that use case, because all tools might say, "Oh, well, we are conversational AI," but they actually solve the very specific use case or use cases that you have? And the more specific you are, and the more the number of use cases that you have, will really pinpoint which tool in the market you want. And that is an incredibly key way that you need to differentiate the tools that you're speaking with. You can't just go to market for a high level solution. You're going to get to solve a specific one or more use cases. And that is what this presentation is about trying to cut through that spider web of buzzwords and say, how do you get to the solution you? So I like to start off by asking the right questions. For example, what are the problems that you are experiencing with your support agents today? Do your customers feel that your responses aren't fast enough? Do they need responses when you are not in the office? Or do they want to self-service at all? Those are important things, because depending on the nature of your business, if you're a SaaS product or a physical product, some or all of this might be relevant. Are you an international business, or are you a localized business? Other things are demographics. You might be working with a demographic that may or may not want a conversational AI. So your problems are more internal. How can we speed up my agent response times? How can we speed up resolution times on my agent versus trying to self-serve and have a self-service model? What channels am I looking at here? For example, the tool set that does text-based may or may not overlap with the tool set that does voice. Do they do text? Do they do social media? These are differences that are very critical, because the way that AI tools are constructed is the models may or may not work in different with different types of medium of communication. For example, is it the problem that customers don't have access to the same sets of knowledge? And how do you make sure that the knowledge is available to your agents or to the customer? This could include things like changing knowledge or up-to-date information on processes. I've seen tools that will also do real-time QA in the sense that they will tell your agents in real time, you should ask this question or you should not ask this question while you're having those conversations. I've seen tools have safety nets. I know one use case that I've seen with Kodif is if you as a customer request 2 or 3 refunds in a row, they can flag that because they have the context of this customer is trying to do something that may be malicious. And so what you need to do is be incredibly specific with the use cases and ask these questions about, what am I actually trying to achieve by going to market for a tool? What is it that my team is struggling with? Is it first response time? Is it average handle time? Is it a self-service problem? Are my customers demanding something that I cannot deliver with humans today? Or are my humans not prepared enough to do that? Is it a QA problem? Do I not understand what's wrong with my tickets? There are tons of use cases that the AI systems can play on. And the way that AI works with analytics and insights is an even bigger problem and needs different sets of questions. For some of those insights and analytics tools, you need a full tech stack integrated. And so you need to ask those players in those departments, what tools do you integrate with? Do you integrate well with my tech stack, whether it's an internal created tech stack or external third-party tools? All of these are valid questions that you need to have answers to before you even go to market. And finally, we need to start asking vendors more difficult questions. Again, if I think about the phone system example, the technologies that are used between the various players in that space, while maybe not exactly the same, are very similar. They're still using the same types of internet VoIP connectivity tools, whether they be the standardized solutions that are in the market or proprietary. But that's not true when it comes to AI. For example, how is the tool trained? Is it trained automatically by using existing knowledge base articles, ticket history? Or do I need to hire someone to be able to manually update these things and train the model every single time something new happens? Very important questions. What is the manual effort in all of this? Do I have to categorize things myself? Do I have to upload intentions and make sure the system knows what I'm trying to figure out using the tool, what it's trying to the AI is trying to determine for me, or does it guess based on some heuristics and some context from what I feed into it? When it comes to workflow automation, how are the workflows built? How are they maintained? Is it low code, no code, full code? Um, with some of these models, and I'm sure we've heard these concerns, is any of the company data sent to a publicly available model or to any third parties? That's a huge concern for personal information and private company information. What about hallucinations? I mean, we've all heard those horror stories where Air Canada's bot came up with a bereavement policy that didn't exist, and Chevy sold a car for $1 because of some clever prompting from a user. These are real problems, and the problem is not necessarily that the bots are quote unquote bad, as some of the media made it out to be. The problem is really more so how you've taught the bot. What are the guardrails on the bot? There are specific products that out there that are indeed snake oil and are just a thin veneer on top of a large language model, and there's no guardrails. That's likely not a great solution, and you need to know what the model looks like and what are the chances of hallucinations. And if it does make an error, how do you correct for that error? What is the way to train it never to make that error again? The number of questions we have to ask in this go to market process for AI tools and to differentiate between them has increased. It's yes, it is about cost, and the cost for these vendors can vary greatly depending on the nature of the product, but it also is about understanding what you need from the tool and what resources you can dedicate to it. Because if it's a completely manual training and you don't have a conversational designer or an AI expert or even a knowledge manager on your team to be able to do that manual training, then that's an added cost to you that may not be obvious. Some tools that integrate into your tech stack, such as Zendesk, require a certain Zendesk license in order to operate. Do you know what that license is and what is that cost to you? Those are limitations that, again, may not come out or may not be obvious from a simple demo. These are questions that you need to ask as a vendor. And I would also argue that vendors should be answering these questions proactively on their website. This should not all be on the customer side to ask and proactively, but all of these types of questions are very important, and they should be focused on your needs as a business, your requirements for security, your ability and bench strength when it comes to training and availability of people and resources to make that investment, as well as the specific use cases that you identified in step one of this process. So overall, to summarize, I would think that you need to very much understand why you want a tool in the first place. You can't just say, I want AI, give me some AI. You need to understand why you're doing it. You need to understand very specifically the types of things you want to solve, whether they be customer facing, whether they be agent facing, whether they be something like product insights and analytics, whether they be company-wide analytics that can connect to your entire tech stack. What access do you need for these things? And then finally, you need to ask the difficult questions to the vendor of what is the expectation on you as the purchaser, and what types of resources, skill sets, and knowledge do you need in order to make sure that you drive the value from the solution. Those are all key things that are required for you as a purchaser in the AI space. And now with that, I will turn back over to Mike.
So just was saying thanks, Craig. Really always love hearing your insights. It's uh, great to kind of see someone who's been through many different iterations of different companies, and your experience is very valuable. So yeah, I'm proud of kind of the platform we built at Kodif, where our CTO actually developed the most automated system in the world for customer support, being Uber. And currently, Uber is receiving over 100 million tickets per month. 65% level of automation. So at Kodif, we're really betting on the AI piece. So doing email automation, the customer facing chatbots and self-service, also the co-pilot. So today I'm going to show you just a brief chatbot that I'll build in 2 minutes that will be more accurate than 99% of the chatbots that are being used, leveraging generative AI, or 99% of what you're using currently on your website. And then I'll show you how it would look live on your website. If you're interested, thanking you for listening to our presentation today. All you have to do is scan this barcode, and I'm going to send you with our team in the background a chatbot today, where you're going to essentially get this, where you could easily implement that and it would deflect a significant percentage of your tickets. And it's really those tickets that are transactional, high volume, and agents actually don't even want to be responding to. And obviously, like, if we can build this in a few minutes, we can go a lot deeper given the other automation applications. So I'll just kind of walk you through this, and just go to halocolor.com on mobile, any way you would search for Halo Color. This is one of our customers. I want to show you guys a real life kind of chatbot that is being used by their customers day in and day out. Currently, it's automating 80% of their tickets, which is significant. And so it's leveraging generative AI, it's leveraging deeper automations as well. But like, let's say I'm a new customer and I just click learn about Halo Color. I'll click on the video. The video will be prompted. We'll do a video of the founder of Halo Color and just talk about kind of how the product works, any questions. Also, like, some repetitive questions that they have as an e-commerce business are like, where's my order? So there's an easy prompt. You click there. You can immediately just say, do you have an order number? No, I don't have an order number. And so I could just put in my email address. This is just like a demo email. So what's going to happen is it's going to, in real time, just sync through all their systems, and it's going to automate that process. So in just a matter of seconds, I was able to track the info, see exactly where my order is, and do so in kind of a real-time capacity. I can think of any customized question based on your dog, because these guys have smart dog collars. And I could say, like, how does GPS work? So this is just showing it also has generative AI capabilities and has been an incredible tool for them to streamline and automate unnecessary customer requests. So this is a chatbot that we could answer in full sentences. We'll actually answer your inquiries and direct you through the website. And then in addition to that, we can upsell the customers or create other functionality as well. I can create this basic chatbot for you in a matter of minutes, and you can play around with it. Obviously, when we go deeper, we would want to put in guardrails, put in all the other functionality that's important. But in general, we're excited to work with more and more companies every day and kind of make lives easier for customer support leaders, not only automating a high volume of customer support tickets, improving customer experience by 24/7 customer interaction, as well as improving agent CSAT, because the agents are actually happier not dealing with these transactional repetitive requests. And also, once we do all that, selling to your customers. Because one thing our CTO developed for Uber was the automated refund people like. So you do a few clicks, you get an auto refund. After you get that auto refund, your customer CSAT actually went up. So what is a better time than that to actually sell and get your customers to purchase a new item that you would recommend, that's curated very specifically for them based on all the information, like emails, for example, and data that is associated with that customer. So that's kind of what we're doing at Kodif. If this is interesting for you, feel free to reach out to me, our team, apply on the website, or just scan this link and we'll send you a chatbot as a gift for listening to this. Thanks.